First of all, congrats to TJ. Great game by them today, and thank goodness they left a couple made shots out there for us. Really want to thank the fans. I know it's a long day. You go to 2 games. It's the most unique fan base in the country, and I think most importantly, or as importantly, I want to thank the staff at Hilton. The amount of work that goes in to a day like today, and you think about wrestling last night, 2 men's games with game day, wrestling tomorrow. This is, and all the people that do the work, the stats, and it's unlike any place I can imagine. And the fans, the workers allow us to live out and get to do the fun stuff. They have to do all the work. And I just really want everyone to know how much we appreciate that. And I guess from a game standpoint, I don't know that we could have played any better. I really don't. I told the team before the game, we want to play a game that our returning players could look at and go, man, that looks like our team. And I think they did that. And to me, that says a lot about them. It was a tough 12 days, 12 days in a row, 4 games, practices, injuries, illness, but we came out of it, I think, in a good form. So they will enjoy their day off, and they'll enjoy the Super Bowl tomorrow.
Bill, I know you had said you thought about like tinkering with some stuff to like work on the slow starts. What have you done, and did it contribute to what you did today?
Yeah, we've changed our practice time, practice situation a little bit for a lot of reasons. That's one of them. But the availability of players, the time of the year, we changed our shoot around today a little bit because of the reunion. And I, to be honest with you, I think a big part of it is Kelsey Jones is in the starting lineup, and there's no one that I coach harder than her, but there's something about her energy that I'd say her and AJ making shots early, and Kelsey Jones just is everywhere. And I do think that changes the way teams go about it. So I don't know that there's any secret to it. We did tinker with a lot of stuff. We always do. You know, when do you watch film? How long do you watch film? You're always trying something, because if one way always worked, you do it the same way. If it's not working, you got to try something. And our kids are open to it. I mean, we changed how we stretch pre-practice. I mean, that sounds silly, but got to try something. And our players are willing to do it, and my staff is open to a lot of stuff. And during practice, there's a lot of things that change during practice, and I can see them look at each other going, oh, there he goes again. But our players can handle it.
What is it about Ariana, maybe over the last week and a half, that's allowed her to take off?
You know, I mean, AJ, you know, has had those moments. Her shot selection is really good. I think, you know, we played back-to-back games where people did, you know, she probably is at the top of the scouting report. So when we go inside out, she's the one that's open. And she's been really good about, she's got a bad foot, and so we've been really careful with the work that she's done. But, you know, that's the kind of game. Obviously 4 for 6 is great, but it's just, you look at the games where we've played and played in a different, like at Arizona State, Arizona, Cincinnati, Colorado, those, you know, when she does things like that, or someone does, it impacts our team. And, you know, no one plays harder than AJ, so it's neat to see her see the ball go in the basket.
What exactly is the correlation between Kelsey and strong starts, you know, that at least made you want to bring her up today?
No, I think it's, you can tell there's plays that she makes that no one on our team makes. Like there's, you know, flying through to get a rebound, or getting a loose ball, or, you know, make an occasional shot, or it just, you need people like that. And most players don't want to be that person. I want to be the guy that comes and sits in front of you guys. But Kelsey she loves to compete. She does what we ask her to do. She takes really hard coaching, and she gets coached really hard. And I think the other thing is her teammates have a lot of trust in her. And I think that goes a long way. And I think they see what the coaches see. And we've tried every combination for different reasons, and we just made the decision. And I think I said it before the Cincinnati game. I said, all right, what are we going to do? We didn't know about sit, whatever. Who's going to start? And it was every coach in my office at the same time said Kelsey Jones. So that tells you what the respect she has from her coaches and her teammates. And I think she's made a huge difference in our team this week.
Keep starting, Ted?
Yeah, she'll start, yes, barring anything crazy. We didn't know if Emily Ryan could go today, but luckily she could. That helped our rotation, so that was good.
How would you describe AJ's competitiveness? Because she often tells us she relies on defense to feed her offense, but today it seemed like the other way around. Rhythm shots
Yeah.
right away, and she's down
I mean,
on the floor.
AJ's, she competes as hard. I mean, there's no one on our team, like her and Kelsey, they just play really, really hard. I think to her credit, she understands she better play hard. I mean, she's not the quickest, the tallest, the whatever-ist, but she's busting her all the time. And I think, again, I've said this many times to you guys when you talk about her, that kid loves Iowa State. I mean, you cut her, it's cardinal and gold, man. And I think she's playing for her dad. She's playing for her brother that played football here. You know, her mom. The term I use with AJ is she has an extra heartbeat for this place. Like everyone, yeah, they want to play at Iowa State or whatever, and they put whatever. She's unique. And again, her and I have had our moments. She doesn't handle my coaching as like others at times, and I've had to learn. And she's told me some things that I need to learn and get better to help her. And I've tried to do that. And I think it has helped her play better because, you know, I have to adjust just like all the players do. And some people can handle, you know, the stress and the pushing that we do as a staff, and some people can't, or they need it in a different way. But you could never fault AJ's love for this place and love for her teammates, and she's playing really, really well.
What do you say about your team when 2 games after Audie and Addie combined for 60 of 69 points, publicly saying we need more, they go and get 45 or whatever it was at Cincinnati, and you get the type of contributions from everyone else today?
I would say a couple things. Number one, they know they're skilled enough. And as much as I tell them, no offense to all of you, I don't read the papers, stay off of Twitter. They do. And when you're being told by fans, media, whatever, that you suck, that hurts. And, you know, I believe me, I've heard it all about what they didn't do, or, you know, so I just told them all, hey, I know what you can do. We know what you can do. Game plans are game plans. And so I don't know. It's one of those weeks that it came together for them, and hopefully it's a sign of good things to come for them, because they've earned it because of how hard they work and how much it means to them. And people forget, not people, but I guess I remind people, we're starting 4 sophomores. And everyone we play, it's graduate student, graduate student, graduate student. You know, and I'm not making an excuse, but like there's a difference when you're 24 and you're playing against a 19-year-old. And sometimes we haven't handled that very well, and that's my fault for putting them in those spots. But they're good players, they're good people, and when they play the way they're playing, we'll line up and compete with a lot of people.
What do you think's allowed Audie to really take her efficiency up the last 5-6 games?
Well, we've talked a lot about with her that, you know, I don't know. She's near the top in field goal attempts in the country, so the one thing about Audie is she could never come into my office and say, Coach, they're not throwing me the ball. You know, she's getting the ball. And I think sometimes it's angle, sometimes it's position, sometimes it's how you post up, sometimes it's the defense, sometimes it's when the entry comes. But most of her shots are pretty close to the rim. And in our game, you know, in a men's game, a lot of those are dunks. In the women's game, she's still got to make a layup. And I've always said, people don't like to watch women's basketball enough because we miss too many layups. All right? So make layups. I mean, and I told her, I said, I mean, to be blunt, I'm like, she had 33 today. She goes 15 for 20. The other day, she went 10 for 26. You go 18 for 26. And the other part of that translates, we live in a revenue-sharing NIL world, so the more money she makes, the more time I'm going to turn on the radio or turn on the TV, and there's Audie Crooks. So it all goes together. That's the world we live in, and she gets it. I mean, our staff works with her tirelessly about finishing around the rim, and when she gets her angle and she's moving, she's pretty damn good.
The start of the week, you'd mentioned these were going to be two big games for you guys. Now that you've capped them off both with wins, what do you feel like it did for you and what you want to accomplish?
Probably in the grand scheme of things, I don't know. Obviously, who knows where we're going to go from here. It probably saved our season in some regards, you know. I mean, if you don't win 2 games, who knows in this league, you know, the biggest thing about playing in the Big 12 in my mind is get winning streaks, and two's good. Two in a row is good, and eliminate losing streaks. And when you lose 3 in a row, 4 in a row, that can eat at you, man. So you're going to lose. I mean, look at what happened to K-State today. I mean, look at what happened to the Auburn men today. I mean, it's basketball. You know, everyone's like, oh, how come? You know, I heard one thing, like, you know, TJ's guys lost 3 in a row. And I heard some guy on the radio, and I literally almost called the radio station for the first time in my life and said, is that guy's like the dumbest human being on the planet? Seriously. I mean, Milan's not playing. We lost 3 games, and everybody's like freaking out. What the hell? What? I mean, you're going to lose. Sorry. I don't know that there's an undefeated. Okay, the UCLA women are undefeated. That's it. So it's like, when you lose, you better stop the bleeding, and when you win, celebrate it. And my wife's the one that's always like, you know, every game you win, you better be happy. Because I used to, like, not be happy ever in anything, win or lose. So now I'm happy. So I am happy. Believe it or not, I'm happy.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Thanks, Bill.
Who you got? Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I hope. I can't.